Some news about the Steelers' minority owners lobbying to owner Art Rooney to fire Mike Tomlin. Robin, do you think this is an overreaction or do you think this is legitimate?
This is absolutely an overreaction. I mean, some people can't have nice things, right? Mike Tomlin, his record is 116-60. He has never had a losing season. He has won a Super Bowl. They were just coming off of a season where they won 13 games. The idea that anyone would even consider firing him, to me, is asinine. You know, how many retread coaches do we see in the NFL? How many teams do we see struggle to find a head coach? The Steelers are one of the organizations praised for stability. Only one team wins the Super Bowl every year. You cannot use that as the standard by which to dismiss someone. Mike Tomlin is one of the best coaches in the sport by far. You can just look at the record.
I think that is a big part of the problem here with the perception of Tomlin is that the Patriots are winning so much and they're such a rival for them, and that Bill Belichick has set this incredibly high, impossibly high standard. I almost equate it to Nick Saban in the SEC, how SEC coaches' heads are rolling often because they just can't beat Nick Saban consistently or have the level of success that he has. So I think maybe that's part of the problem with the perception of Mike Tomlin. Like you said, his record's incredible. 0 losing seasons since he's been there, 2 Super Bowls. I do think that they have underperformed a little bit with the talent that they have there, and they do tend to play emotional. But I don't know who could actually be an upgrade there at that position for them.
Yeah, people like to complain, but they never have the answer to that question. You know, you get rid of Tomlin, who are you bringing in? And again, there are a lot of variables and factors that come into play in an NFL season. We have teams have disappointing seasons. I mean, look at the Giants this year. A lot of people pick them to win the NFC East. He's never had a season like that, and he's been there a long, long time. So when you say underperforming, I would even push back on that a little bit, because when you're underperforming by constantly making the playoffs, I don't know if you can really say you're underperforming, because we get a little captivated by skill position players, and that's definitely where the Steelers rise above. I mean, you can easily say Roethlisberger and Brown and Bell. But do we really know if that roster is so much more talented top to bottom than some of the other teams in the league?
It is hard for me to look at all of the pieces that he does have to play with and think, okay, I can point out specific wins where I don't understand how they didn't get over that hump with the guys that he does have there. There have been some questions about, we were discussing it this morning actually in the newsroom, kind of arguing about what would Ben Roethlisberger do if Mike Tomlin is not the coach there. I think that Ben has mentioned last year after the season ended, he mentioned potentially retiring, and this year he's saying that's far out of his mind. He plans to play at least 3 more seasons. I think that his relationship with Todd Haley is kind of the breakdown here. The offensive coordinator whose contract is up, it looks like Haley's moving on. He and Ben don't have the greatest relationship. Haley's style is a little bit more aggressive. He's kind of in your face. I don't think that's the way Ben likes to be coached, so I don't think that that would be a deterrent for Ben Roethlisberger. I think Haley's more the issue, not necessarily Tomlin with him.
Yeah, and if you're a guy like Roethlisberger, you want to have a shot. We've seen with this core and with Mike Tomlin, the Steelers always have a shot.